Hey guys, we're going to do something that I think is pretty cool. We're just going to have a bit of play. Nothing too exciting, I guess. See, I always go through, I love starting on the ramp for some reason. I love pressing all the buttons and flipping all the switches and going through the process. It's so fun. It gives you a sense of you've actually learned something, especially for those of us who, you know, are nerds when it comes to flying. It really is amazing. And if I'm hoping that some of the younger generation are actually watching these videos, and the reason I think that's cool is it's going to give them some kind of encouragement to actually do this. You know, it is not outside of your grasp. If you want to do something like this, do it. You know, you don't need all the buttons and switches. It is good to have a joystick, but you can go through and learn all the stuff, you know, just using the keyboard. Get interested in it, because what did it for my generation and a lot of people my age was Top Gun. At the moment we're living in a what I would call a post Top Gun era. So
Atumi, Colt 1-1, request startup.
There is an interest out there, but it's not as
Colt 1-1, Atumi, clear for startup.
it's not as full on as it was after Top Gun. I know people who left when they left school. They watched, you know, because they watched Top Gun, they went into the RAF, or when they went into the RAF, they made them sit down and watch Top Gun. It's one of those movies, and hopefully Top Gun 2 is going to come out and renew some interest in doing these kinds of things. I mean, one thing that I've found, technology is great, and we did have a big influx of people who wanted to hop on board with the, you know, IT, and I was one of those people. You know, I'm a bit of a desk jockey. But this kind of stuff is necessary. You know, you get out there and you do things and you make something of yourself. You can do that. And if you're a kid that's interested, or a young person that's interested in doing this kind of stuff, go for it. It is possible. You know, don't be disheartened by this thing, by how intense it looks. It is intense, but geez, is it worth it? I'm kicking myself. I was in the Air Cadets when I was a kid, and I'm absolutely kicking myself that I didn't stick with it, because I would have been flying by now. I really believe that. And it was just one of those opportunities that you know, sometimes people make mistakes and miss opportunities, and I am absolutely kicking myself. I had the chance to do this for real. Maybe not in the A10 because I'm Australian, but or even in the RAF. But you know, it's nice to dream, huh?
Pull up, pull up. Altitude, altitude.
That's one thing I think we're missing, you know. These days, I got a friend of mine who's he does some welding and works on some pretty heavy machinery parts, and we were talking about how much you can get paid in a career doing that kind of stuff, because people just aren't doing it anymore for some reason. And the nature of humans has changed. It really has. We've gone from from, you know, working hard to not working hard. Oh, you silly twit. I missed a step because I was too busy trying to profess how good it would be for people to get interested in this stuff. But it didn't break anything, we just gotta wait. I've got everything started so quickly. Okay. Maybe let's change this, eh? Always good to chuck in those flares. That's fine. Yep. Always double check to see whether this is loaded, even though I don't have to, but I keep doing it. Alright. You are supposed to be off. So like I was saying, it would be good to get more people interested in doing this kind of stuff. I mean, we did have Top Gun. That got people right into it, and hopefully Top Gun 2 is going to do it justice and renew an interest in doing these kinds of things. I mean, dudes, we don't really grow up, you know, we still like nerdy things. Guys are just like that, you know, we like bombs, explosions, you know, model making, and so, I mean, some of the guys I work with used to be in the Air Force. They do model trains and stuff. Don't listen to all the garbage they tell you on the internet about, you know, alpha males, and don't subscribe to the alpha and beta male rubbish. That stuff's... It is rubbish. All that does is divide people more, I think. Yeah, so... Alright, let's have a quick pause because I've got a message. Okay, and we're back. Alright, so we've got that, EMC, GCAS, everything's sorted, flight plan, mission, yada yada yada, excellent, that's all good. Alright.
Atumi, Colt, 1-1, request taxi to runway.
Did I use the
Colt, 1-1, Atumi, clear to taxi to runway 31.
Okay. And the reason we do run through the tests and everything in this game is because we do have failures, random failures that can happen sometimes. So you just want to make sure that everything's working before you take off. The lighting in this game is amazing. It really is. To me, this is the Gran Turismo of flight simulators. Looks good, smells good, tastes good. Yep. No, I don't think this works.
Atumi, to me. Colt 1-1. Request takeoff.
Still doesn't work because, well, I don't know whether it's too complex or they're going to change it at some point, but I don't think they're going to talk back to me. So we're not going to hold short at Alpha anymore. We're going to just get out there. We are supposed to follow the yellow lines, but you know what? Not today.
Colt 1-1. To me. You are cleared for takeoff when ready. Climb 300 at QFE 30.28.
Well, it's a good thing he cleared me for takeoff because I'm already on the runway. And I'm pretty sure we're going to use the whole runway this time. We're not overladen.
Colt 1-1. To me. Clear to taxi to runway 31.
What do you mean cleared to taxi? I'm not going anywhere. I'm taking off, damn it. Let's line up as straight as we can. One of the problems that I've got is the rudder sensitivity and trying to stay straight down the runway. It's quite difficult sometimes. Pre-flight checks, into skid, blah blah blah. TAD, DCS, everything seems loaded. That's all well and good. TGP is on. Oxygen, pit open. All good. Alright, it's going to get dark soon. We'll just at least put a little bit of floodlighting in there. Okay. Power up. And one smooth throttle acceleration. And rolling.
Colt 1-1. Unable to clear for takeoff.
Yeah, well guess what? I'm taking off.
Colt 1-1.
To me,
you are cleared for takeoff when ready. Climb 300 at QFE 30.28.
Yeah, thanks. It's not like there's anything else happening. Alright. Rotate. Gear up. And let's put anti-collision on, I think. And we're going to head off to the right. Right, so we're going to demonstrate a couple of things. One of them being mark points, the difference between mark points and waypoints. And there's going to be a little bit of editing waypoints and mark points and creating waypoints in this one, as well as using illumination flares. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Power down enough because we're going to sit around 220 knots. So the way mark points work, let's go in and just change this so we can do ourselves a mark point. We'll do it over here. Okay, so Nagability. Alright, we'll just do it on the outskirts near the train line. And we'll create ourselves a mark point. Can never remember how to do it properly. There we go. It's about time. Okay, so let's have a quick look when we go into the CDU. Alright, so we've got Mark A. Now, elevation 47. That's going to be 47 feet above sea level. That's going to be ground level. Good for when we're marking targets and we need to drop bombs and slave our Mavericks or whatever we need to it. However, let's Go to mark point here, so this will show us our mark points. However, not very good when using some ordnance. Now, say 47, we're going to add another 20 feet, so we'll go for, 67. So if we go 6, 7, and CDU. Oh, what's that? We can't change it. Oh no, oh, we can't change that. However, we can change. Actually, let's clear that off. Target mark, and we can change the name. Target Sark. Close enough. Close enough. Okay. So let's do another one. Let's do 4. Okay. So that one, we've got the same details apart from the name. Now 47, we'll go 67. 67, very good. TGT. No, we don't want that. TGT. Not mark, we put edit. Yeah? Yeah? What did I do there? I've somehow zoomed in. Okay. Okay, so I don't like this zoomed in version, and I don't know how to unzoom. That's not cool. Anyway, so we've got target mark, and we need to switch over to flight plan. New position, that's not there. Maybe we need to go to mission for all waypoints. And I think we've overwritten, yeah, TGT edit. Okay, so TGT edit is the same as A, except we've got maybe 20 feet more. Actually, let's change that to, yeah, it's already changed. So, the reason we do 20 feet more is because a whole group of illumination flares, and I'm ready to use them. So, by a whole group of them, I mean, I've got quite a lot of illumination flares. I've got quite a lot. So, we're getting too close going this way, so maybe we'll complete an orbit and come back and fire off some rounds. The sun's going down, people are finding it hard to see things, yada yada yada, and these do look quite impressive in the engine. Not that you'd really use this much in missions, because there's no missions really at the moment that use it, but it is fun to learn, and it's fun to use. So waypoint 3, target edit, should be 20 feet above ground level, because we saw 47 as above sea level, which gives us the ground, which, as I said, is good for target marking when you want to launch Mavericks, slave Mavericks, or drop bombs. Use GPS coordinates for ordnance delivery. However, if you were to lob an illumination rocket there, it will probably stay lit for 10, maybe 5 seconds. If you want a bit more, you need to raise it up maybe 20 to 50 feet. Because these illumination flares really last. They go for a long time. Alright. Now the CC RP mode for rockets is a little bit funny, but with illumination flares it doesn't really matter. You don't need to be hugely accurate, you just kind of want to make the area light up. Now the reason we have to use the CCIP mode is it's impossible to judge where this is going to go off and where it's going to light. So we've hit it as 0. Just change that so you can see what's going on. Because if you've set it at ground level, what it's going to do is it's going to continuously calculate where to aim and where to shoot to set it off at ground level, so you get 5 seconds of illumination. And I suppose you could shoot earlier or you could shoot higher, but it could totally change where your rocket is actually going to light up. Whereas this is timed. And
Altitude, altitude.
oh, where'd it go? Did I use test illumination flares or actually weapons off? Huh. That's odd. You'd want to get that right the first time, wouldn't you? Okay, so that's illumination. They're all illumination, but they're all the right number. That's very strange. Maybe we can't see it because it's still too light. Anyway, so now we're doing another pass. We're minus 11, so we're still minus 8, so we're still too close to do a 180 and take another crack at it. You know, it never works out the first time for some reason. Maybe we got a dud. Who knows? We might have enough time to line up from here if we're lucky enough. Have to pull a tight turn though. Try and keep it. Ah, bugger. So we're at -1, so what's going to happen is it's probably going to hit the ground or overshoot. That's one thing with these rocket CCIPs is it's very hard to... Oh, look at that. We got the flares, but they're still too low. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to see if we go, what are we at, 67? Maybe let's try 87? Let's try 87, see if we go from there. So that was 20 feet, still kind of wasn't as good as I thought it would be. So maybe 20 feet isn't the way to go. Let's just power up a little bit. Take that off altitude and heading and just leave it as heading. go back down to an acceptable speed. Alright, so now we're trying 87. I think originally it was 47, so we're looking like an extra 40 feet in height above the target. We've got a good running time, so we're quite comfortably following this now. And we'll fire off a few rather than one, I think. No, we'll just do one. Ah. Might as well fire off a few because we're sitting past 0. So I think the key is you can't really be precise with just the one flare. You really need to set off a few. Ah, there we go. That's better. So that's the way to do it. You're going to have to add a minimum of 40 feet and you're going to have to lob a few flares. You can't just do one at 0 because it might not work, so you kind of got to lob a couple around there. Not bad, huh? Definitely fun to use. Oh, and this is cool as well. Like I was saying, I'm a big fan of the lighting in this game. Graphics are great. Actually.
Pull up! Pull up! Altitude! Altitude!
How cool is that? That is pretty cool. Alright, well, thanks for watching.